hello. Happy Woman Winning Wednesday. I'm so excited for today because we have a special guest that is joining us. And I'm going to introduce her and let her in up on the speaker's lounge with me shortly. But welcome for everyone who is new here. I'm Lauren Elsey. I am the founder of Hervival. I'm a certified digestive health coach, self-care, holistic wellness and self-care maverick. I am all about holistic well-being, helping women to be healthier and happier, finding ways to be able to combat stress, prevent overwhelm, and be able to be more productive by using holistic wellness healing modalities to be able to conquer where they could be a maverick too in self-care. So I want to thank everybody who's coming on. We cannot go without shouting out our sisterhood tribe, Black Girls Do. We are actually live on Clubhouse on Black Girls Do. So shout out to Leah J. I have been a part of Black Girls Do. I think we're about in like 3 years now. So I want to thank y'all so much for letting me be a part of the tribe and where Hervival and Black Girls Do work together on helping women to be more inspired and just be able to get words of wisdoms like what we do here every Wednesday now. So we're here every Wednesday at 12 noon to share some words of wisdom. What is words of wisdom? What's this whole Woman Winning Wednesday about? It started out in Hervival as a space where we create and curate a platform where women can celebrate themselves. One of the things is, especially a space where it's women of color, women as a whole, but definitely women of color who has challenges with any forms of insecurities, confidence issues, imposter syndrome, or, there's a lot of women who go and do the damn thing, but they like go to the next thing without celebrating themselves. So we started curating Women Winning Wednesdays as our theme in-house in Hervival, where women can actually honor and celebrate themselves. So we actually started opening up the stage where women who don't even know each other, but just be able to come into a space and a community together to celebrate each other, share what are they winning, because a lot of times we don't celebrate ourselves. We don't, because we just feel like that's expected and on to the next one. So Women Winning Wednesday became a going theme. And then also one of the things we talk about with Women Winning Wednesday was, what's the challenge? What gets in your way? And that's when, the uncovering of challenges, having that momentum, staying motivated it came up. So we started the Words of Wisdom and having segments where, whether we share from audiobooks, TED Talks like we're going to be sharing today, and different words that can help encourage us, just to give us our boost in the middle of the week to keep going. Because as much as we thrive and we grow, we're also human and we have challenges that we need to refuel our battery. So consider this your weekly Wednesday at noon, a recharge of your battery. And I'm pretty sure if you stay on, you're going to be very inspired of what's coming up today. So today, like I said, we have a special guest, Malira Green. I am going to go ahead and add her up just to say hey, because we have a special TED Talk by her about how self-love is the key to inclusion. Hey, Malira.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm honored to be here today, and I love seeing all of the winning women who are here on this beautiful Wednesday.
Yes. So I'm so excited to share for your TED Talk. I have definitely been like beaming from ear to ear. So excited when you finally did it, because I know it was a goal of yours, and I love your talk. But can you just introduce yourself briefly and give a little teaser of what people can look forward to from this clip on how self-love is the key to inclusion?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Malira Green. I am a licensed clinical social worker by trade, but genuinely, I'm just a servant at heart. On a day-to-day basis, I can serve in different capacities as a therapist, a life coach, a master healer, or a transformative speaker. But today, I really just want to serve as a servant. I want to speak to the you that almost feel like you want to give up. I want to speak to the you that you feel like, I know that I have value and worth, but when is the world going to see it? I want to speak to the bad behind, girl, you are on the inside of you today. And what you can get from my speech is really talking about how in order for us to include others, we have to embrace who we are, because you are an important piece of this thing called life. You are someone that people need to hear from. And I tell people all the time, you're like the antidote to a world's problem. So if you don't walk in your purpose, if you don't walk in your passion, then how is the world going to function fully the way that it's supposed to?
What? Y'all hear that? Drop the emojis. And you can cuss here. Badass self. You know, a lot of us, we are boss women. We do a lot of things, but we do have inner areas to do that. So as y'all see, I was very, very intentional with who to have as a guest speaker. And I thought that she would be perfect for Women Winning Wednesday and Words of Wisdom. So if you are just tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from, how far, how wide. One of the things that we do here, we are live on multiple places, but if you want to come on up and talk and chat and stuff like that, you can click on the link that's shared for us to come over here on Clubhouse. But I would love to, one of the things that I always do is that making sure that we curate spaces where everyone is seen and heard. So I like to always give a shout out to those in the listening lounge. So, hey, Mary, hey, Shalita, Leah, Janice, Kenya, Sabrina, Lydia, and Marie, Deborah, Keisha, let's see if I said your name right. I'm gonna say Miss O. Ellis. Okay, I don't want to mess up your name. Sharice, Anissa, and Shanier. Hello, thank you. You're seeing. Give some love, give some hearts, and let us know where you're tuning in from. So let's jump into this TED Talk, because one of the things we like to do is share some words of wisdom, and then decipher what really came up with ahas. If you want to share them in the chat, we know people are working. Definitely share anything that really rang some bells for you. Let us know that you're picking up the gems that's being put down, and we'll have a little, our little session and wrap up and share with Malira after the segment of the clip for the TED Talk that she did called Self-Love as the Key to Inclusion.
It's your favorite therapist, Malira Green, and I hope that you came here ready to actually be on the therapist seat. But before I get you on the seat, I want to introduce you to 13-year-old me. When I was 13, I was the youngest freshman at school, and I remember this was the first day of gym. I'm already scared and terrified. I never had to change out in front of anybody before, but my gym teacher said, I need you to get on the scale. I got on the scale and it read 215 pounds. And when she looked at me, it was with so much utter disgust that she couldn't understand this 13-year-old girl was now basically morbidly obese. And it was at that moment in my life where I realized that I hated the very essence of who I was. I did not see my value, I did not see my worth, and I didn't understand why I was alive. And it was that day, going in the locker room was the first time I ever had a suicidal ideation. So why do I tell you guys that? Today, I want to talk about the U in inclusion, the one that actually brings the other 8 letters of this amazing word together. So much so, we're having a whole event today on this topic. I want you to understand that if you don't get anything from anything else,
all right, 1 second for commercials here.
I say today that you are enough, you have enough, and you've done enough. And this is the moment where you get to see the beauty that you bring into this world today. So where do we start? I want to talk to you guys about utilizing self-love as the key to CPR, to the silent death of inclusion, and that is comparison. We have to learn how to build harmony in every dimension of our lives. And those dimensions are your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, your physical, your social, and your cash flow dimension. Why do I say that? Because if spiritually you are not connected to who you are, to the inner essence of your soul, you're going to continue to be off track and look at everybody else's life as better than yours. There is no 2 people that are the same. And you have to understand what type of phone you are. Listen, they're trying to change chargers now, but back in the day, an Android charger couldn't charge my iPhone, baby. And I had to understand, what type of phone am I? What are the apps that I need to download? What are the things that I need to have? Who do I have charging me up? But we have to look at that outlet in the wall. If I do not pay Dominion Power, I'm not going to have anything to plug anything into. And there are some of you sitting in the audience right now that just got a spiritual collection notice because you have not tapped into your inner essence of who you truly are in a very long time. Today, I want to remind you, it's time to pay that bill. It's time to really sit back and see how amazing you are, how you were fashioned with everything that you need already inside of you. That spiritual, that soul, that inner essence, that's how you know that you are included, because there's a seat for everybody at the table. So where do we go from here? We learn the key of self-love, and it starts with embracing your story. For a very long time, I get asked, Malira, you're so transparent. Aren't you afraid that people are going to say anything about you? Listen, if they ever take my license away from me, it just means I don't need it anymore. Because I would rather tell my story about my own struggles with PTSD, how I'm a therapist with a therapist, I'm a life coach with a life coach, I'm a health coach with a physical trainer, and everything underneath the sun. Because my story is what's going to empower me and empower other people to see that they have value and worth. You are not by yourself. Because once I understood that, I could be empowered to put my hand back and pull other people up with me. I am not successful on my own. I'm not on this stage by myself. I am accompanied by every ancestor, by Michael and Myra, by Michael Jr., by my children. I am embodied by everybody who's ever touched me. So I'm empowered to get that power back, even if at 13 I heard you're 215 pounds. Because I'm still lovable. You are loved if you don't do anything else. If you don't get another degree, if you don't do another certification, if you don't get married, if your kids aren't successful, I want you to know that you are lovable, because everything you need is already inside of you. Because then you can be faithful to your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Don't stop. Get it, like the Uncle Luke used to tell us.
All right. We're not going to stop, but we're going to get it. I'm going to pause it right there because we usually do about 5 minutes, and I want to make sure we have time to chat with Malira. So if y'all was really feeling that, put a fire emoji. Let her know that this was really hitting and sizzled in your spirit. I have so many questions, so many things that really resonated with me. If you do want to come on up, give Malira her flowers, share what really resonated with you. Feel free to raise your hand and come on up to the speakers lounge. But one, I want to say flat out, thank you. Thank you for your bravery to even get up there and share that. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for even bringing your Black girl vibes to it. I don't think I've heard, I'm really impressed with like TED Talks. I listen to them a lot. I don't think I ever heard anybody put Uncle Luke in there. So I'm gonna just say that right off the bat. Like when I said that, I was like, I did a little twerk. I ain't gonna lie. I did a little twerk when you said that. And I really love the things that you talked about of the importance of bringing harmony into, our perspective areas. But one of the ones that I love, of course, we talk like anything at Hervival, we talk about revive your mind, body, and spirit, right? But I love where you talked about your, as far as your cash flow dimension. Sometimes that gets taken away. I mean, that could be a whole nother topic as far as where people have money blocks. But I really love that you spoke about that and a lot of the analogies that you said. But I wanted to ask a question as far as in the challenges that you face. What would you say, especially for someone who's going through where they're hearing your words, they feel sparked for it. Somebody could be crying right now, right? Or later listening to this replay. And that really resonated something that they feel worthy, because one of the things I love that you said is that You are loved if you don't do anything else. If you don't get another degree, if you don't start that business, if you don't do anything, what would you say for a sister right there in that moment that feels stuck, broken, and feel like she's still not overcoming or doing or achieving, but really resonated with what you had said? What would you say to that woman for as far as her first step to get back up?
Well, number one, I would say to her, baby girl, you're not by yourself. Today, before I even jumped on this, I said, God, I need you to be my words because my flesh is in pain, but your Holy Spirit needs to actually speak to other people. That's number one. Sometimes we don't get up because we think we're by ourselves. We think we're the only ones struggling. We think we're the only ones that don't know how to get far. And that word competition, we go on social media and we see the smiles of everybody. We see people accolades. So then we disqualify ourselves. So the first step is understanding that just because it seems to be happy don't mean that it is happy. And I want you to know that everything you need is inside of you. It is literally okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. So if you are someone who is listening to this right now, know that you're not by yourself. Even me talking to you right now, this is what's uplifting my spirit because I get to encourage. I want you guys to understand if you are in that space and it's resonated with you and you don't know where to start, simply start by saying that you are more than enough and that you have right now to stand up. And if you can't stand up alone, get you a sister that's in this room, get myself, and we will hold you up until you're ready to hold up.
I love that. I was over here admitting a little bit. Yeah, actually, it's so important with community, which is exactly why I curated a space. Like, actually, before there was, wait, was her Bible? No, I think it was about the same time. But to lead to example, exactly why I even latched to communities and tribes like Black Girls Do here. Why we curated a space like Hervival is to have a space where other women who may be having challenges, you have women at different levels that's growing and overcoming. And I can say, if you're someone who has a challenge when it comes to your overall well-being, my expertise as a certified digestive health coach and life coach, I focus a lot more on gut health and how your gut health helps with stress management that overcomes where you have mental challenges and blocks. I work side by side with therapists. So this is why I have a Rolodex of, those in the mental health field. That's how Malira and I come together, not only from that space, but also in a healer space. But I love connecting and partnering and have communities, because if it's not me, it may be somebody who I know or a community or space. It's one of the things is, and I think the term self-made, I talk about that a lot here on Words of Wisdom, is there's really no such thing. You have everything within you and you can grow. However, like the saying says, if you want to go fast, cool, you could go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. You need a space and a community. And one of the things that I really enjoyed that you talked about is many of us are out here having, you said, a spiritual collection notice. Ooh, a spiritual collection notice. A lot of times, spirit gets left to the wayside often, which is exactly why I always say, like, any and everything I do, mind, body, and spirit, like the three got to stay on the table. And I'm not talking about in religious spaces. We're a spirit before we choose whatever lane we want to go through, and conform into any dimension, non-dimension, or whatever it is that you would like to go to. But it's important to fuel that spiritual fire within you, because that's going to be your inner GPS, which is a lot of what I talk about with gut health. I always say, like, if you tend to your gut health, that's the circuit box to your inner GPS system that can help to activate your spirit, because every aspect of you, mind, body, and spirit is a hub within the space of gut health. But anyway, it ain't about me. It's about what you shared, but it resonates on so many levels. I love the concept where you talked about the phones, like, as far as the phones needing a charge, and how, what type of phone that you need, and the charger that you need, and what type of apps you need. I think that is important to look at life in that capacity, because we look at that when it comes to devices, what type of software, malware, and that's boundaries, right, for us that we need to have. Can you share, since boundaries is a big challenge for a lot of us, can you share, as far as from your journey, or any recommendation in the sense of boundaries, that you would like to highlight and talk about, especially when it comes to self-care?
Absolutely. So we have to understand that our boundaries aren't necessary to keep people out, but is to allow for ourselves to have people in our space that's going to grow us. A lot of the times people feel like if I have boundaries, then that means I'm being selfish, or if I have boundaries, I'm keeping out people. But no, I am protecting myself so then the right type of people are in my space. It goes back to, who do you have charging you up? A lot of us have upgraded our cell phones, but we're trying to use old chargers, and we're wondering why it's not holding the charge. Those boundaries is what helps with that. I love to give the analogy that we all live this life kind of like a play. You're on stage, and you have your front row people, middle stage people, balcony, and then we'll talk about the parking lot people in a second. So when you're talking about these front row people that you have, and we're talking about boundaries here, each of these individuals are going to have different set of boundaries. When you're front row, you get VIP. You get to see when I trip, fall, sweat, stutter. If I hold that note a little too long, you see people running out of the sides. Like, you see everything going on in my life. I allow for you, again, that boundary. I am choosing to allow you in to see that space. Then you have the middle row people. Those are the individuals that I kind of have a guard up a little bit. They got to call me before they show up into my space, right? Because they get to see what I want them to see. They get to hear what I want them to hear. They see the perfected space of my life. Then you have the balcony people. Those are the people that only hear through the grapevine. They can't see absolutely nothing that's going on, but they can hear you. Then you have the parking lot people. These are the people that can't afford to even be in your space. When it comes to boundaries, you have to know who type of people are that's in your space and treat them accordingly. It doesn't mean that I don't like people in my area, but it means that I am protecting me enough to understand that no, I'm not being fake, phony, or any of that, but certain people have certain access to me. They have certain access cards that everybody does not have. So when I have these boundaries set up, it's to protect me, because I know my soul's purpose is so huge. Sometimes it's just waiting for my flesh to catch up. And not everybody needs to have access to me, because every person is an energetic being. So when they come into my space, my question is, are they going to increase me or decrease me? If they're going to decrease me, then I need to have a boundary in place, a non-negotiable in place. You're not going to talk to me like that. You're not going to have access to me like that. You're going to have to call me between 9 and 5. And these certain people, they get to call me whenever you want. I may stop everything I'm doing for a certain group, and then for you, I need to put you on my calendar. It is okay to have set boundaries so that you can accomplish your goal and dream the way that it was set for you to accomplish it.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all grasp that? I hope you picked up those gems she just put down. I really love the concept of the rows out to the parking lot people. So for the parking lot people, make sure you definitely put that boundary in place. And that metaphor is like that analogy is so profound. Thank you for that. So I want to know Lyra, can you quickly share how people can find you, connect with you, where you like to hang out in the social streets? And one, I want to just go ahead and put my thank you for letting me be in the middle row, I'll say, for coming on and sharing in our space and community. We're not in the parking lot. I hope y'all know. So y'all not out there in the parking lot to get access to Lyra so she can share. I thank you so much for just showing up and being here to talk. But I was saying thank you. I didn't lost my train of thought where I was. How can people find you?
No worries. You are so welcome. So people can find me at www.malaratransforms.com, on these social media streets. I'm primarily on Facebook. I have an old soul, so if you just look up Malara Green, you will find me there. I do have an Instagram at Malara Transforms, and also my TikTok is Malara Transforms as well. I love to give my number because sometimes people listen to this and they can get intimidated. I am a real person. I promise you. If you reach out to me, you're going to get me, no admin, no nothing like that. And that number is 7. If I don't give you a resource to help you with your mental wellness. So that's how you can find me.
Absolutely. Again, that's spelled Mylira, last name Green. I did put the link here at the top. And lastly, our next part is wrapping up with like wins, as far as being able to celebrate ourselves and do. Before I do that, as people are like jumping off and wrapping up, if you enjoy these Wednesdays, Words of Wisdom, I am starting to be able to have more guests. If you have a signature talk or anything like that that you would want to share and be a part of the Women Winning Wednesdays, you can email us at info@hervival, HERVIVAL.co, and put www talk request. Okay, www talk request, and we would look into considering having you as a special guest to come on here and talk. Also, too, if you want to, if you are a holistic wellness seeker, you are, whether you are thriving and looking for a community or struggling, also looking for a community to support you. Just like Malara said, like we need a tribe, we need a space, we need a community, we need to be amongst those that can help restore and recharge us through our ups and our downs. If you are looking for a space in the community to help you on your holistic wellness and self-care journey, I definitely recommend if you go to hervival.co/subscribe. We have our newsletters, and then you can also learn about our communities. We have a free space community as well as our membership that's accessible through our mobile app. So you get access and resources to support you right from the palm of your hand, in and out of the workspace, with resources to help you, whether it is daily affirmations, meditations, and then we also have our seasonal challenges. I believe in being able to align your wellness challenges with nature. So we do a lot of our things based on the season. So we have our Winter Awakening right now. It's all about restoring and rejuvenation, and using where we are staying adamant to our gratitude list, and different self-care habits. So we have Winter Awakening, we have our Spring Revival where we focus on cleansing and detoxing. So if you're someone that's needing that support, definitely subscribe, become a part of our tribe, and learn more about our community and our space. So as we wrap up, I want to ask Malara, we usually wrap up with sharing a win. So for those who are listening, definitely drop it in the chat, or you can raise your hand and come up on and share really quickly. What is a win that you would like to celebrate when it comes to your overall well-being? A lot of us tend to share our wins right away when it comes to business or a way to grow and get more clients or sales or products. But a lot of times we don't know how to share our wins when it comes to our self-accomplishment, our wellness, our physical, that list of things, even the cash flow, what do you call it? The cash flow dimension. Yes. So I would love to know what wins that you would like to share, for the people, and definitely share in the link. And it could be no matter how big or small, like if it's just, I made and woke up today and still have hope. I made my bed, whatever the case, we definitely celebrate and honor everyone there. But I want to know what was your, share your wins when it came to you.
So I would say I have probably 2 wins. One win will be me still being in this chat today. I am actually going through a separation. And I found out some information yesterday that the old Malara would have literally checked out of here, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. So I am grateful that today I choose life. I'm grateful that today I have hope and optimism that I'm going to experience true love one day. I am grateful that even in the midst of it all, I know that I have value and I have worth, and I'm not going to allow for someone else's actions to determine that worth and value for me. And then secondly, another win is my son was extremely sick last week, and I'm just so thankful that I had the opportunity to be able to be here for him and literally get him back to health, because I thought I was going to lose him. So those are my two wins. And if there's anybody who is struggling and having challenges, I just want to let you know, again, every moment is a moment to choose. So choose right now, life. No matter what you're going through, you are going to be okay, because everything you need is already inside of you and already surrounding you.
Let me just say right there, thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the things I like to do is every time someone share a win, I blow the horns for you, okay? That is a win within itself. A lot of times our win is being able to still stand up from our challenges. So thank you, Queen. Anyone else wants to share your wins? Drop it in the chat. I'm gonna blow the horns for you as we wrap up this room. For me, let me share. I am an autoimmune warrior, which is why I'm very passionate on gut health, because it has been the game changer for me. However, I can change as far as my mindset, my spiritual fueling, and eat well and all that. But one of the biggest triggers for one of the autoimmunes I have is cold weather. I cannot change the environment. I might can book a little flight somewhere, but the cold weather has definitely been kicking my butt. I'm not gonna lie, and I have been waking up with some chronic pain. Well, I wouldn't say chronic, but pain that is really having me drag. So this energy, I almost didn't make it. I was about to say, oh God, we're gonna have to reschedule or change because I need to have good energy. However, these rooms always fuel me. But I got up today. I didn't have the goal of making my bed, but I'm about to, because that's usually how I start my day. But the fact that I'm up and I have energy and I'm ready to take on, I had an interview that I got done that I really was dragging. But as far as for me, like taking care of myself, I did my gratitude list, I said my prayers, I said my affirmations, and I'm up here standing in front of you today. So I'm gonna blow the horns for my damn self, okay? Thank you so much, Malira. I really, really appreciate your presence, your times, your shares. I'm pretty sure I see the fire chat. Someone said over on Facebook, love this. This is very helpful. So, we have a lot that we share here. And I hope to be able to have you come back soon in some way. And again, if there's anything that you ever doubt, let it not be yourself. Pour into yourself. And if you need some boost throughout the middle of the week, catch me here next Wednesday for Words of Wisdom. Again, make sure you follow Black Girls Do, the clubhouse in itself. They also have a Facebook group. There's a lot of different rooms that's here, but you can catch me here every Wednesday. All right, y'all have a good one. Thank you so much again, Malira, for your time.
You're welcome. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Take care.